Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jake. Today we're talking about Kraven the Hunter. I'm alone because I don't know if you guys know, but Nadia gave birth to our son. He is very sweet and lovely and perfect and healthy. Nadia is on maternity leave. I know the dip in quality is going to be huge with just me being here, but you're just going to have to put up with it. Kraven the Hunter, 2 hours long. Oh boy. At the end of the day, I just have to wonder, what are we doing here still, right? Sony has all of these extended Spider-Man properties, Madam Web, Morbius, Venom. They're holding on to these, and I feel like they're just making these movies so that they can maintain the rights, because a lot of times these studios, they have to like make something or else they lose the rights and other people can bid on it or whatever. I don't know what is going on, but there's got to be some kind of laundering of money. I mean, you look at the quality and wonder, okay, but let's just get to the beginning. Kraven the Hunter is another Spider-Man villain without a Spider-Man. In these movies, he's not a villain, right? Venom isn't a villain. Madam Web isn't even a superhero. She's just there. So the big question is like, what is going on? And apparently Kraven the Hunter is like the last one that they're doing of this extended Sony Spider-Verse that's not Spider-Verse. Who cares? Who is this for? No one's seeing. Who's seeing this? Who's seeing Kraven the Hunter? Something that struck me watching it was the way our current state of blockbusters has got us to think that this level of CGI execution is acceptable and totally normal. Like all of the animals, except for a dog, is CGI and not good. This isn't a knock on the CGI. I mean, we know how these companies exploit the CGI team, how there's not enough money and they have to work faster and all the crunch and all that. So there's no blame on the people doing the digital effects. The blame is on how those effects are planned and executed and how they're realized and imagined to work within the script. When you don't have all of those elements working together, the preparation, the previs, I mean, all these things, you just get really ugly crap. There are some fun action moments in this movie, but they have little to do with the bigger like CGI imaginings. Kraven is basically like James McAvoy in Split and Glass. I don't know if you've seen those, but when he becomes the Beast, he just like runs around on all fours and is like super strong. That's Kraven. He's just like he like runs around. The whole first quarter, or maybe first third of this movie, is like your classic origin story. And this guy, Sergey, he's the son of like this Russian oligarch. The dad, who's played by Russell Crowe, who's just like, it's nice to see him in, I don't know. Guys, why are we here? Why am I even talking about this? It's just sad. I think I'm having a minor breakdown. I spent precious time and energy to go see this, to talk about this. I hope that it's worth it. I hope that you guys are... I'll get back to the story, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? That's his name. I'm not even going to look it up. It's not worth looking up. He's Kraven. He's Kraven. He's just there. He has no real personality. So what happens is he gets attacked by this super dumb CGI lion, and his dad is like, "You've got to be tough. You've got to," he says this Russian accent. And Aaron Taylor Johnson / Kraven is like, "Well, I'm one with the animals now." Because like a little girl gave him a potion that was set up through like a completely ADR'd dialogue scene. What's with the ADR in all these Sony movies? That there's so, okay, well, I can explain why. Because there's no planning, because all of it is just poorly done. They probably didn't even have a full script or any script when they were started shooting this. The ADR is just the voiceover, putting in lines of dialogue afterwards. It's a lot of about to say something, and then they cut to another character who isn't talking, so they can just change the dialogue and the exposition, and it's super clunky and obvious in this. But again, like, who is this character, right? He basically was wronged by his dad. He doesn't like him, and now he has these like super animal instincts, and he goes and he just lives in the forest, and apparently he's like a hitman, but he kills like bad gangsters basically. Let's like make it a simple action movie maybe, but no, there's so many like dumb characters, and That's another thing I noticed in Venom 3 also, and Madam Web. They're just shoehorning really random superhero characters that you really must be a rights thing. Like, they're just trying to like put these characters on screen to maintain the rights. Best part of this movie, best part, is Fred Hetchinger, who's an actor I really like. He was in the Butcher's Crossing movie. He's very enjoyable to see on screen. He brings a kind of fun energy. He has this thing where he can sing perfectly as any other person, which ends up being, it's like somehow connected to his character. Again, what does any of this matter? There's a guy, the bad guy is like a rhino, like he transforms into a rhinoceros because he wanted to be strong, because Russell Crowe didn't take him seriously. Now he's like a bad guy and he's rivals with Russell Crowe. Things just happen. So we have this long setup of who this character is, blah, blah, blah. The brother gets kidnapped. He has to go save him. Kraven has to go save him. Kraven is a nobody. He's a nothing character. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I just did not like him in this movie. I don't know. I haven't seen many movies with him, but he was just a charisma black hole. There was nothing like, is he supposed to be a fun character? Is it self-aware because there were some like awkward jokes? There's just such really bad like animal CGI in this. And again, you start to wonder, like, what is the point of going to the movies if not to see something? Seeing an animal on screen, that's like you can watch a bad movie. You can see a bad movie from like 20 years ago and they have like real animals. Like, I would pay, I'd be fine going to the theater and sitting for 2 hours if I got to see like some cool horses or like some actual footage of a lion or a bear. Obviously, I don't want them to be like in bad circumstances. You know, I know that practices used to be very bad, but it's definitely like a lack of imagination and a lack of not wanting to spend resources in that way that they prioritize like, well, it's easier to just have it in the studio and green screen and just have our effects team whip up a really bad looking lion. Ariana DeBose is in this. She was in West Side Story. She was very good in that. I don't know what, she was just here. Kraven finds her years later after she gave him the magic potion that made him Kraven. I don't know how. He's just like a skilled hitman who like kills bad guys. I don't know why. His character is just there. There's some like themes about like toxic masculinity maybe. Oh, this is a boy's drink. You need a man's drink. And then he pours like a tiny little bit more vodka. He's like, yes, that's a man's drink. I don't know what to tell you guys. The movie's really bad. At least Madam Web was like bad in a fun way. This was just bad in a really boring way. There's only like a couple campy / fun moments. The villain, the rhino guy, there's a scene where he just like, one of his henchmen walks in and you just see him go, like, he makes like a raptor noise. Maybe I was hallucinating. I'm very sleep deprived. Maybe I was hallucinating in the theater, but if any of you have seen, none of you have seen this, but any of you have seen this, please back me up. There's a scene where he just is standing there as his henchman walks in and he's just going, no explanation. Maybe that was part of something. That's like how he reacts to his serum. I could really use Nadia here to help me process this. I think at this stage of the channel, you guys are just gonna have to ride with me for a little while here because it's gonna get a little weird without Nadia's stabilizing force. I'm gonna try to hold the ship down, or I don't know what the phrase is, but I'm gonna try to keep things steady until she's back in action. Thank you for the support. We have a review of Raising Arizona on Patreon that both of us are in. If you want to go support us on Patreon, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone, and I hope you have a terrific Kraven week. Bye bye.